she was finding, and they gave her credit because she has a master's. So I think they gave her credit for the master's. So they gave her a level 3 or something. There's one. Maybe.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How we all doing?
I think connecting.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Great. The traffic was bad. Hi, Matt. Hi, everybody. Thanks.
Were you trying to cross the Howard Franklin or anywhere near that today? That was headline news all day long, it seems.
No, and that was actually me. It's Matt. I was the one caught in traffic. No, it was just typical downtown St. Pete traffic.
That.
Typical for now. I mean, the new downtown St. Pete.
Has nothing to do with snowbirds here at all. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's 6:01. So I am going to start, even though people are trying to get in, just because I think it's a good idea to start on time. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I'm going to, it is February, the African American History Month and celebrations of that. And thank you to all of the contributions of all the African American people in District 70 who helped make this a great meeting, and also beyond the District 70. So that's celebrations. Matt is standing down as the vice chair, and so he'll still be around, but he won't be able to be the vice chair because of work reasons, but it's, in effect, he's still going to be at meetings and things. But anyway, that does open up the position of vice chair, of which there will be an election at the next meeting in March, because all the voters need to have at least 10 days, to actually be given warning in advance of the election. So I'll be sending more information out about that. I'm sorry to be losing Matt in this capacity, but so be it. This is life and we have to move on. But thanks, Matt, for everything that you do and continue to do. I appreciate it, as we all do. I was hoping to get things into the chat, but it won't let me put it in there, which is just a royal pain in the neck, because there are things that went out on the agenda that it's helpful if you could see again in the chat. But anyway, at some point I might have to send them out again, unless Matt can get them into the chat later. So I'd like to just start. Yeah, question?
No, that's me, Joan. I'm working on it now. Technology is not working either today.
Thank you. I want to just say some thank yous before we continue a little bit, because there's a lot of things going on. Thanks to Trish standing up tonight, taking the minutes on behalf of Chris, who's out tonight. Thank you to all the people who did the project, the postcard project, which was absolutely great and very efficient. It's very streamlined, and I do appreciate all your help on this. There are others in the pipeline, and I'll be getting back in touch. Thank you to all those people who wrote letters to all the Tallahassee representatives in order to complain about the bills and vote no on the stuff that they're doing up there. And I'm working more on that alongside with Walter, and getting this streamlined so that we can send more letters, and so you know what bills to write to which committee about. But more along later on that. I'd like to welcome 2 new PCPs we have. We have Aidan White in precinct 114, and we have Christian Hotchkiss in precinct 228. So I do appreciate that they're stepping up to the plate to help us out here. Anybody who knows anybody who's, you know, potentially working areas that we need to know so that we can get people up and running and trained so that we're ready to roll out things, you know, before the primary. And that's the plan, to get as much, you know, sorted before the primary, so it's streamlined. We will be doing, there are van trainings that went out. It'd be good if you sort of, as a precinct person, become more familiar with van. And also we will be kicking up a notch on the mobilize and signing up for events for voter registration and then some on mobilize. And that I think I'll roll out next month. And Kathy's gonna help a little bit with events. And that would be Maranda Douglas. So, and all of this hopefully is in the, yeah, great. There's a lot of information in the chat if you need to get any information. Thanks to Carla for coming last month, about the St. Pete Youth Farm, which was really, really good. And I went to visit, as I know some of you did, and she was very appreciative of it. And so she did talk a little bit about the care bags, and I would like us to be a little bit more focused on the care bags to give out to the homeless people around Williams Park downtown. So there's a list of things in the chat of what you can drop off. You can look at the St. Pete Youth Farm website to get more information on that. It's an excellent program, training the kids to grow food, and also, you know, making sure that they all get registered for vote. I thought it was just great. More on that, and care bags and all of the good stuff. Maranda is our speaker tonight, and she is from Clearwater, and one of our speakers, and she is has a phone bank, and she will tell you about some of the other things that she's doing that she might, you know, need your help on. But I did put in the two phone bank links because I have in the past been in both of them, and sometimes van can be a little finicky. And so if you can't get in one, you probably get in on the other. I did yesterday get in, and I did do some phone banking. And so Maranda needs help, and she's going to talk a little bit more about that, about Clearwater and how we need to keep, you know, get Clearwater blue. I think we're close. Are we not, Maranda? I think we're close to getting, you know, one more person, a majority in Clearwater. Is that correct?
Right. You mean on the city council?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be correct. Right now it is 3 Republicans. And I think 2, well, 1 Democrat and 1 independent. So it's changing. It'll be a change in time right now.
Okay. I will come back to you, Maranda, but thank you for that. Just so you know that she's running a non-partisan race, which is important when you're saying and talking to people that you have that information. When you go on the phone bank, there's a lot of information in there that I suggest you read before you talk. If you do get there, please do try, because it's really very helpful for her. I'm sure there's lots of other thank yous I need to say that I'm going to move on. But before we move on to our speaker or the break, no, I'm going to do it into breakout and then we come back. I'm going to go to Kathy before Maranda, because Kathy has another meeting and I don't want to miss what she has to say about an event that's on Saturday. So that will be before Maranda, but we're going to go for a quick breakout. And the breakout is your strengths, or one strength that you have, how you could sort of improve your precinct. What's one thing that you think you're good at, that you could improve your precinct, and how you could do that. And somebody in each team, please take notes and put it into the chat so that we can keep this valuable information in there. So your strength. So I would say my strength, okay, I'm going to say I like to run meetings, okay? And running meetings and making sure that everybody gets involved at the meeting, you know, makes it a better district. So I'm going to call that my shot for my strength. So what you're going to talk about is one thing, like maybe you're a great writer, or maybe you like to canvas, or any one thing that you think would be helpful. So Matt, how many groups are we going to break out into?
I think 4, because we got 16. So that'd be like 4 people per room.
Okay, great. All right, just a couple of minutes, Matt.
Got it. All right, everybody, send them to your rooms. All right, Joan, I think we got everybody back. If you're trying to talk, Joan, you're muted.
Oh, am I on mute too? Oh my goodness. What a Looney Tune. Okay, Kathy, you're on mute too. No wonder you can't hear me. Kathy, can you tell us a little bit about Saturday? You're still on mute.
On unmute. There we go.
There we go. Great.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
This is a great opportunity for 70. And shame on me for not talking about it sooner on Sunday when I saw it, but I saw it in today's paper. And it's called the Collard Green Festival. It's taking place in the Deuces on 9th Avenue and 22nd Street. And it sounds like a fabulous opportunity to really target in on getting voter registrations and vote by mail, maybe to a population that we have not reached yet. And Ken Welch is kicking it off. They're talking about fitness and produce and all kinds of things. It runs from 9 in the morning till 5 at night. And we need volunteers. And here's the deal. I have called the people that are doing this festival, and I haven't gotten back from them. But I do have clipboards with current forms, so that even if they don't allow us to set up a table, we can just go around with clipboards. And then I or someone will be there to take the materials back, to take all of the signed forms and take them to Lucinda at DEM headquarters, and she will get them to the supervisor of elections. And this one is a real important one, I think, for 70. And if you're interested in volunteering, and it won't be, oh my gosh, you're going to have to be all day. It will only be 2 to 3 hour stints. So, you know, and it will probably be a whole lot of fun. And my phone number, it's in the chat room, but my phone number is 727-644-9989, or my email, kjdauto@aol.com. So I hope we have lots of volunteers so that we can get lots of voter reg and mail-in ballots. I think everybody on this call knows just how important it is for us to do this. So I think we've talked about it many times before. So hope to have lots of volunteers. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Steve,
Kathy.
we should ask Steve, when was the last time that you ran it, Steve? Was that 2 years ago, the last time they had a full festival, or was it a year ago?
It was a year ago.
Okay.
Well, Steve, what was it like? Tell us what it was like.
well,
I've never been.
It was less well attended than I thought it would be, but but then by about noontime, the last couple hours, there were a lot more people. And while I did not get a VR that day, the league table got 4 or 5 of them.
Good.
Yeah, so again, I think it's an opportunity, and particularly if we can get people to sign up for vote by mail.
And the food was good.
And the food was great. Okay. Hey,
Well,
thank
that's
you,
always
Steve.
important.
Amen. Amen. So as I say, I hope we have a good lots of volunteers and a good turnout. The weather's supposed to be fabulous.
Oh, great. Thank you
Please
very
do.
much, Kathy. Please make sure that you contact Kathy about this. You don't have to do an hour. Everybody, if you could just fit in an hour, that would be great. Thank you so much, Kathy. I will be there. I'll let you know through the email what my hours are, okay?
Okay,
Thank you
you
so
got
much.
it. You're welcome.
And Joan, this
All
is Matt. I want to let you know that I put a link to the festival webpage is there in the chat as well. So
Oh, fabulous. Thank you. All right. So it is a great festival. So I hope to see you all there. Okay, we're going to move right on into our first speaker of the evening, Maranda Douglas, who is stepping up in Clearwater. And, you know, Miranda is very talented in lots of things. And every time I read something new, she's done this and she's done that. But I'm going to leave that for Miranda to say what she would like to say. And welcome, Miranda, and thank you for taking time out. And hopefully we can all help you in some little way, because numbers count. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for inviting me in. I really do appreciate all the support that I've gotten so far. Again, my name is Maranda Douglas, and I am running for Clearwater City Council seat 4. I am not your typical candidate. I am the candidate that the city has definitely been waiting for. And I'm looking forward to activating this minority group that I know that we really need to inspire to get out into the polls and really become a part of their local government, county, statewide, you know, just really educate them on these opportunities. As Joan mentioned, I have been doing a lot of great work. All of my life, I was really brought up under the YMCA, and so that's where my commitment to public service really started. And since I graduated from USF, I returned to public service as the executive director of FYI Community Partnerships. And while I was with FYI, I led a civic engagement and public art project where we did a series of storm drain murals, a wall mural, and we did Clearwater's first painted intersection. And that's really where the community and I really developed this relationship where they see me as a leader, as a resource leader, and someone really willing to advocate and find those resources that they need and bring them to their communities, especially our underserved communities like Lake Bellevue, Greenwood, and surrounding areas outside of the beaches and downtown. And so I am really running this race off of their energy and off of their support. I have served on several other boards in the city of Clearwater, including our Marine Advisory Board. I am a small business owner, and my business Top Knots is a marine services network. And so I've really been using my experiences there to educate the community about how we can protect our environment, keep the waters clean, advocating for local businesses and helping our advisory board understand how we can take advantage of opportunities to really invest in economic development by working with local contractors and really developing a technical training program. I received my captain's license at the end of last year, and I'm really looking forward to developing this program so we can get more women on the water, more youth on the water, and really educate the community about boating safety and the careers within the marine industry so that I can really give back to this idea of economic development. I also serve on the Clearwater Arts Alliance, the Community Police Collaboration Panel, and the Greenwood CRA's Economic Development Task Force, because I really do want to improve on our quality of life here. Clearwater is going through a housing crisis and a workforce development crisis as well. And it's just because the jobs are not paying enough for us to live in the area, and the prices of rent is escalated to a point where we just cannot maintain it. And so those are two issues that I want to tackle on city council as well, is finding ways that we can really address our housing crisis, whether it's really incentivizing developers to build more affordable housing, or figuring out who our property management companies are and challenging them and encouraging them to place a rent cap so that we don't push our families out into the street. I'm affected by it, and due to from recent data, over 60% of Clearwater is affected by it. And so it's a great issue that we have an opportunity to really work on, and it's a main concern of the community. So I'm really looking to address that on council. And again, I am a diverse candidate. There's a lot of diversity in Clearwater that has felt excluded from decisions that are made citywide. And I'm looking to be a representative for them, a representative for the neighborhoods, and really just an advocate and a champion for the community around keeping our neighborhoods safe, walkable, affordable, keeping our environment clean. I was endorsed by the Sierra Club as well because of my history, because of my story. And I really do want to leverage that to educate the community on how they can get involved with our latest Green Prince 2.0 initiative, which is to move the city to more green, whether that is encouraging our municipal services buildings to get solar, energy efficiencies, helping our homeowners get solar, getting more bikers, getting cars off the road so that we can decrease our carbon footprint. So there's a lot of things on the table that I really want to bring, but I do need support, especially activating the African-American community. We have done a lot of door knocking with my team. I have been able to knock on over 7,500 doors. And so I am out in the community, boots on the ground, really explaining and educating the community about this opportunity. But we haven't gotten as much response from the vote by mail registered voters as we were expecting. And so we are planning again to do more phone banking, to do text outreach. I will be sending out another mailer to these the individuals as well. and really just, encouraging everyone and reminding everyone, Clearwater City Council elections are only on March 15th. There's no early voting at all. And so unless you were registered to get your mail-in ballot, the only other opportunity that we're gonna have to capture these votes is on March 15th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I do have drivers getting organized to actually drive people to the polls because we are really, really excited about this opportunity and really want to take advantage of it because this will be a historical time for Clearwater, under the fact that there has been an establishment and there has been a perceived barrier with the makeup of the council so far. The community has really felt like there's no point in trying to communicate with the council. They're not going to be heard. Their issues are not going to be addressed. But I want to change that culture, and I really want to serve Clearwater in a way that's going to be productive, efficient, true to inclusion. So I would appreciate your help. I am a strong Democrat. I have been always. I didn't know it until I needed to actually fill in the bubble. I registered I was a registered voter in high school. They came to high school, but they can't encourage you to go one way or the other. So I was an independent for a while. And then, I noticed that I'm always voting a Democrat. I'm always serving under the values of Democratic values. And so I made the change, and I've been embraced by the family, and I appreciate communities like this. And if there's anything I can do to help you all, it's really important for me to educate and activate the youth 18 and up to understand how they can get involved in local government. Some of my messages have been, I know a lot of you guys are planning to move out of mom and dad's house, but with the affordable housing crisis right now, you might want to save your pennies because it's going to be a bit tough. And, I'm just really trying to leverage those kind of conversations, as well as, understanding how your utility bills are affected. If you are a property owner, understanding how your property taxes are impacted, how we can get more parks, our fire and police services, just really trying to educate them. And I think that's really where I'm going to be able to serve the best, through Facebook and through social media. And again, I would just appreciate any more help with phone banking, texting, and spreading the word and getting out the vote.
Great. Thank you, Miranda. Does anybody have any questions? Well, you're all on mute, so I can't hear if you're saying anything. But anyway, Miranda, I did put some information in the chat, but I don't know whether you want to look at it and add anything to that in the event that I may have left something out. I put your website and I put the phone bank. And like I said, there are 2 phone banks, but I've been in the past on both of them. So I just find Van sometimes works better with one than the other. I don't know. It's a little odd and tricky. But anyway, there you go.
I did forget to mention too, not to spread you guys thin, but this Saturday I will also be having a motorcycle rally. So if you got 2 wheels, 4 wheels, no wheels, doesn't matter. This will also be an opportunity for us to get more people registered to vote by mail or registered to vote, period, even if they've missed the opportunity to vote in this election. You're more than welcome to join us. I sent a little picture in the chat, but I'll put it in here again. And you are more than welcome to join us and serve on that front if you do need another space to come and advocate for how you can get registered to vote.
Great. And Miranda, also on Mobilize, I noticed you have sign waving too, because I didn't mention that. And I think that's, that suits some people and it's a nice thing to do.
Yes.
We did it in Caprice's campaign and I thought it was a nice thing to attend. So just to let you all know that it is on Mobilize. If you go in there, you can find it. Okay.
Yes.
All right,
absolutely.
Miranda, I'd like to thank you so much for doing that. I'll keep in touch with you because it's important. I have been on the phone bank myself. I did it so that I knew how to do it, so I could tell you all that it's very easy to do. And as Ed taught us many moons ago, how to translate the phone into a text in, and it goes fast if you can do that. But, to reach out as many people as possible. We're down to what, a month, are we?
Yep, 1 month. So
1 month.
The race is on, the race is on, but
Yeah, game on, game on. Okay, Miranda,
thank
thank you
you. I'll
very
put my
much.
stuff in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Corey, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can. Hi, Corey. I'm just saying that my picture isn't on there because it won't come on. I don't know why. I need to fix it, but that's why you can't see me. I'm sorry about that. I need to get that squared away. Corey, would you like to give us a little update on what's going on with voter reg?
Sure. Thank you, Joan. Thank you so much, Miranda, for stepping up to run, and to all of our other candidates. Best of luck to you. We had a few of our canvassers this weekend go out and actually help Miranda's team. So we're excited to announce that the Florida Democratic Party has helped register over 200 new voters in the city of Clearwater. So that's, again, just expanding that electorate and making sure that we add new voters to her base so that we can get her elected, as well as the other Democrat, and really diversify the city council. But thank you so much for having us. I'm really excited to say that we have been growing in numbers. Our team's expanded. I see one of our newest team members, Jaleesa Blackshear, on. Thank you, Jaleesa. You know, our team has been working hard, boots on the ground, making sure that we do all we can to really accomplish the goal of Chair Diaz, which is to register 150,000 new voters across the state of Florida. And that's in every county. So we are working here in Pinellas, working our butts off. I'm happy to announce that we have been meeting our goals of registering at least 150 new voters every week. So again, this is just a small team of us, less than 5 people, that's out there every week volunteering. So it's something that you can get paid to do, or you can do it if you want to do it for free. We have something for everyone. Right now, we've shifted gears as of today. We just got directives from Chair Diaz that we are going to be helping with the Jacksonville City Council election. So all hands are on deck to make sure that we do all we can to really bring it through for Tracy Polson up there in Jacksonville. If you know anything about that seat, the incumbent passed away, and so that election is to fill a vacated seat on the city council. She has some staunch opposition from the other side. They're running her as the candidate who wants to defund the police, which is not true. So we have our canvassers, as well as the rest of the canvassers across the state of Florida, making sure that they're picking up their phones and dialing and texting and emailing voters, reminding them to get those vote by mail ballots in. And that's the part I want to end on, is making sure that if you have an hour in your week or just 30 minutes, like I said, there's something for everyone to do. I can assign you a turf, but we need to do all we can to not just register new voters, update old voters' signatures, but also make sure people know, hey, you can vote by mail. The Supervisor of Elections office has forms that are a little bit more lengthy than they used to be. Some of us may remember we used to have those little postcards that we can send back. Well, as you can imagine, the Republican-controlled legislature has made it even more difficult for people to register to vote by mail. So the form is a little bit more lengthy. So if you don't know how to fill out that new form, we can get you trained on how to do that. We have it in English and in Spanish. So again, if you are bilingual, we need you there as well, because we have different turfs that maybe require someone who is bilingual. So if that is a gift that you have, we certainly want to utilize your efforts and put your work. So thank you so much, Joan, for having me. I'm going to drop my email in the chat. So if you know anyone who might be interested in applying for work, again, it's $15 an hour, up to 30 hours a week. Very flexible schedule. We try to work with you. So if it sounds like something that you or someone you may know might be interested, please shoot me an email and let me know. Thank you.
Great, Corey. Thank you. I did put that in the agenda this month, and in the chat it's also there. So, but I'll have to get back with you, Corey, to do an update on that. I'll do a follow-up with you soon. But thanks for giving us the update. Welcome to Christian and Aidan. I did welcome you earlier. I don't know whether you heard. Thank you for stepping up to be our new folk in the precinct 114 and the 228. It's great to have new folk, because we need everybody. And right now I'm going to go to Caprice, because I'm not quite sure if you've got a meeting, Caprice. So I'm going to take you now. Can you come in now?
Hi, this is School Board Member Caprice Edmond. I'm glad to be here. I wanted to talk with you all about the superintendent search and just provide you some details about the timeline, as well as how you can access additional information and contact the entire board regarding your feedback or your questions and concerns. So the survey was released today. If you go to pcsb.org, you'll see it strolling on the cover page. If you would like to see additional information about the entire search process, you can go to, I'm on the phone, on the computer, but yes, you can have it. You can go to pcsb.org/superintendent search. And then there you'll find the recordings of our meetings. You'll have the timeline. You'll have all the documents that we review. And then once the applications start coming in for a superintendent, all of that will be publicly accessible so that people are able to see which candidates are applying and provide the board with their feedback. Again, the survey was launched today and it'll be open. It's an online survey. It's open from today until February 28th. Also, there are going to be in-person and virtual forums. So the first one will be on the 23rd. It's a community forum at Pinellas Park High. And then the one that's South County will be February 28th at St. Petersburg High School. And they have a satellite location at Lakewood High School. And when I say satellite, that means that if people aren't able to get to St. Pete High School, they can go to Lakewood High School. They'll have access to a laptop or an iPad so that they could appear virtually to the forum that's happening at St. Pete High. This also can be done in the comforts of your home, whether you have a phone or a computer. The Zoom link is also posted on social media. If you follow the PCS Facebook page, they have the events posted up there. The survey is also posted on their Facebook, so you can share it, as well as those events. So,
Please, can you take a question from Jaleesa, or do you want to finish and then take it?
I want to finish and then take it because I'm almost done.
All right.
Thank you, Jaleesa, for holding on. So March 10th, during our board work session, that's when we'll take the survey feedback and discuss it, determine minimum or preferred qualifications. And then March 14th is when the advertisement of the position will be posted. And then let's see, April 20th, identify semifinalists. May 3rd, identify the finalists. And then May 10th, 11, and 12 have on-site in-person interviews with the finalists. And then May 17th, the board will have a discussion regarding selecting the superintendent. And the goal is to have like late May, early June, approve a contract with the new superintendent. So then there's a month of transition period between July 1st, when Dr. Grego is set to retire. And again, this timeline is all tentative. It's available on the pcsb.org website. So that is what I wanted to share with you all about that process. And Jaleesa, what's your question?
Hi, Caprice. Yeah, I know you literally just went through the due process and the timeline. I just out of curiosity, so who picks, like, is there like a steering committee that picks the finalists, or top 5 or top 10, or is that the board?
It's the board. So
Okay.
you just asked a great question, which makes me want to go ahead and throw out there. We have Florida School Boards Association assisting with this search. So it's not internal. It's not a contracted person. It's the statewide school board association who has gone through this process several times, walking Pinellas County School Board through it step by step. So at these forums, it's Florida School Board Association, not district staff facilitated and not school board member, it's the School Board Association. The survey is an anonymous survey being paid for by Pinellas Education Foundation, and it's a third-party organization that's going to gather those results, synthesize it, and provide it to the board. So again, this is not a Pinellas County Schools like sole operation, but ultimately, when it comes to the semifinalists and the finalists, it will be the board's decision. So we could have 10 semifinalists, go through a process, go through a scoring rubric, then whittle it down, and it'll be all, that discussion will be all available in the sunshine. And the reason why I keep reiterating it is because you and the community have an opportunity to provide feedback. Thank you.
That's
Thank you,
important. Caprice, can you take Miranda's question?
Sure. I don't see her.
I didn't have a question. I was just giving a thumbs up to the public being able to provide feedback, because I know that's probably something that they don't know, but it's an opportunity to definitely say something. So thank you for sharing that, Caprice.
And
Yeah,
I also
that's
think
important.
so email blasts went out to all families. They also had focus groups with the executive leadership team, administrative staff, support professionals. So they're really trying to get feedback based off of the surveys questions as best as possible. However, if you take the survey and you feel that it doesn't capture or your comments aren't captured that way, feel free to email the entire board at board@pcsb.org, and then those emails will be shared with us.
Yeah, good.
So that is a little update about the superintendent search. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is voting down ballot, and it's great that I'm speaking after Miranda because of the importance of every election. We have seen on a local level, state and national level, how important our votes are, even when it comes down to amendments that are on the ballot. And I just want to encourage everyone to remind people to vote, join Corey's efforts or anyone else's efforts in voting or supporting a candidate of your choosing, because voting down the ballot is extremely important. I know Miranda's election is in March, and there's are others coming up in August and November, but we really have to get out the vote. A lot of our community is counting on us. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Caprice. Great.
And I will put my information in the chat. I will be on the ballot August 2022.
Okay, but I'll have you to speak again about that, Caprice, because I think that,
Okay.
you know, you need to have more details of that, but, you know, but.
That's why I'm keeping it short. Yep.
Okay, great. I'll get back to you. Thank you very much for the updates. That's really important that we can actually follow all of that and see what's going on and make comments and give, you know, that's huge. So thanks for that, because people need to know that. Okay. All right, I think I am going to move to Steve Johnson, because Steve's going to give us a little, and Matt, he needs to be host on this, co-host. He's just going to put up a little bit on the van and explain, because Steve is available for people to help you through the van and getting familiar with it and things. And he's a great resource that we have. And I think now is the time to play around and get help from Steve, so that by July, coming up for the primary in August, that we are up and fluent in this arena. As fluent is a stretch, because it's a hard thing to learn, but you have to keep practicing. But Steve is going to take us through, and if you want to make an individual later, a one-on-one with Steve to find out about your own precinct, that would be the way to go. So Steve, are you a co-host? Yeah.
He is a
You're on
co-host.
mute. Yeah,
He is a co-host.
great, thank you.
Okay. All right, Matt, coach me here. How do I get the slide up? Oh, share screen. All right.
Give it the bottom there should be a little green square.
There we go. So Van, also known as Boat Builder, it's where our Canvas, Lit Drop, phone, and mailing lists come from. And I'm going to say at the top that some degree of confidence with technology is needed to tackle this. Please think of it as on-the-job training, and it's all about going at your own pace. And if Van's not your cup of tea, at least the bit of study you get in will, I think, expand your understanding of precinct level campaigning. Personally, I found that cutting turfs with local knowledge was very helpful in my precincts. So your training will start with the National Training Committee's website. And there's many interesting courses there, but for this effort, you're going to look for Vote Builder. This one takes a little time, an hour plus anyway. Parts of it are interactive, and I think it does a good job of answering some of the background questions about Van that I've heard from myself and others over the years. And also it's got a lot of embedded hot links in there that further define and explain the terminology or the method it's being discussed. The second one, using minivan for canvassing, it's short and again, good background info. So my hope is that one or two of you catches the Van bug. That was the case for a couple of my mentors. And if you really are want to go forward with it, I certainly will be able to pass you off to a more qualified coach. And I'll put my contact info in the chat when I finish here, and I'll ask for questions.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Just remember that, you know, if you want a one-on-one, Steve's available to help you, you know, for your own precinct, because the local knowledge of your own precinct is invaluable. You've got on there the minivan, and hopefully Ray will be able to do minivan training next month or maybe April, not sure yet, but it's soon. About minivan. But if you could get in touch with Steve, that would be great. Anybody, any questions for Steve?
Yeah, and Joan, you reminded me of something I left out, is that these two courses are just to get you started. The majority of getting this done for you is going to be one-on-one coaching.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just have to keep practicing and keep doing it in order to, you know, to try, because it's tricky, but you know, it's great because it's got a lot of information that you need, and it's, you know, it helps enormously in canvassing. So any questions? Okay, thank you, Steve. Contact Steve directly, please, for a one-on-one, because it's helpful. And now I'm going to move into Anne. Anne is going to give us an update of, we did the course, you know, the Florida course for voter reg, which was very good. And then there was a tool bag at the end, and Anne delved into it and wanted to add a few things. And so she will send out updates to help about voter registration again, and we'll send them after it won't be, I don't know what you've got in the chat, Anne, but we'll just send it out as an email, okay?
Yes, that's what we'll do because there's 4 PDFs that'll go out. So I'll zip them and send them via email.
Okay, great.
Matt, am I co-host now?
Wait 1 second. Yep, sorry. You are co-host.
Okay. And is that visible to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me put it on presentation mode. That's a little better. All right. There we go. Okay. So as Joan said, she and I attended the voter registration training, and I thought it was a good idea. I've registered people before, but things have changed. So if you have not yet had the opportunity to maybe just go through it one more time, these are the things that I learned that had changed, and that's why I thought it would be helpful to share. Some of you have been doing this voter registration under the new laws here, but this is what it really boils down to. With respect to voter registration, there is a new requirement called the mandatory disclosure. And that is basically, I have it written down on the bottom there, a sample. You have to orally or somehow convey to people in writing or speaking that you're required by law to inform them that the form that you're about to take from them may take up to 14 days to be delivered to the supervisor of elections, and also that they, if they so desire, may choose to deliver that themselves by hand. So that's a new requirement, and as I understand it, it has to be communicated every time you're doing a voter registration or a vote by mail form. The other change was basically an extension from 10 to 14 days of when the canvasser needs to return the form. So that's a little more helpful, I guess, not having to run it in within 10 days, but it needs to be within 14 days. So for this particular change, I have created a handout that is a combination voter registration receipt and has the mandatory disclosure information on it, and that I will be sending to you. It has the Pinellas County contact information in terms of the fact that the new voter registrant now can check the status of their registration or the status of their vote by mail ballot, and it gives them the Vote Pinellas website, or they can email the office, and it gives them the phone number of this SOE of Pinellas County. Also on the form is if they have any problems or need voter assistance, we give them the Florida Protection Hotline. The other changes, the list is a little bit longer, but what I captured here is what we need to pay attention to when we're actually out and have the form in front of us and, talking to voters about registering. One is so important that the vote by mail request is only good for 2 years. So what has changed is the counties cannot just blast out mail ballots just because we checked the box a couple of years ago that says, yeah, keep me on for mail ballots. Can't do it. It expires every 2 years. So for this particular year coming up, if you get folks to register by mail before the early May, May 6th, then they're good through 2022. It has to be basically done on the years that we have the presidential election is really what it is. So this can be troublesome because people feel that they voted before, or they may not have voted, or maybe skipped the past November election, and they can't assume that they will get a mail ballot. So that's something to check with individuals to make sure if they voted before in the last year. So if they haven't, then they should fill out the vote by mail form again. And it is a new form. It is a one-pager jobber, and the additions and why it's so long is because you now have to provide identification, either the driver's license number or a Florida ID number of some sort or the last 4 digits of the Social Security number. So it used to be that really simple, as Joan said, the half pages. No such luck now. It's a full page, and you have to make sure that the ID is on there. And the third thing is not new, but it's something that I thought would be helpful for folks, is to remember that there could be returning citizens out there that are or maybe unsure of what their status is. So the stuff on the right side of this slide, I've compiled into a handout. And when I talk about handout, they're little window size things that they're 4 to a page. So I'm going to send you the PDF for this, and this lists all the different scenarios. If they're not sure if their sentence is complete, or they can check their records at these websites. If they're not sure if their rights have been restored, they can go to these websites or call these numbers. Or if they need assistance with fines and fees, they can go to here. So I looked all of this up on the League of Women Voters website. I went to all of these websites, checked them out. So these numbers, these websites are current, and they're good to go. And this saves you a lot of words and a lot of angst when you're trying to determine whether this person is eligible to vote. If they're unsure, you can give them the help to get there. And that's about it. So I will send you all this PowerPoint, and I will also send you the mandatory declaration, which is embedded in the voter registration receipt. So it's a one-stop little piece of paper that you can leave with someone. And then I'll also send you the returning citizens document. That again is something you can print out and leave behind. And the other thing I will send you is the complete summation of the SB 90 changes that were prepared by the League of Women Voters. It's a 2-pager, but it hits the highlights, and it talks about mailboxes, and when we get to the time where we have to go chase ballots and all that good stuff, then we'll review that information. But for right now, the focus is on getting as many people as possible registered to vote and vote by mail. So these are timely pieces of information and helpful tools. Okay, I'm done. Any questions?
Great.
Thank you.
Any questions? Well, you're all on mute, so I can't hear whether there are any questions. But that was excellent. Thank you so much for your work on that, and getting that out to everybody. We'll be sending out those slides to you. It is helpful to have it, in front of you and know and refresh you.
Yeah.
The changes.
One question I wanted to ask folks is, where are the PCCs or your canvassers getting their forms from? And the reason why I'm asking this is the county has taken the voter registration form, and on the real voter registration form, on the back of it, it lists all the different SOEs because it's a universal form, right, for Florida. What the county has done is on the back side of the form, they have that little Cody thing that they put on for the third party registering agents or something like that. And so I wasn't sure if people were, advised to use those, or if people are just using the generic forms that are available online. Really, you could print it out and use it. So I was just curious where the other PCPs and canvassers are getting their forms from, the registration form and the vote by mail forms.
Yeah, good question. Anybody?
Yes. Frankly, I've been, getting my supply of forms through GOTV Pinellas. Sometimes I print and reproduce them myself. That is a source, but I'm confident that the SOE will be reasonable about giving out blank forms if somebody goes down and talks to them.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna think about that and the form and get back to you all about it, because that's important that we got the right forms in front of us. And I assume that Kathy's got them all squared away, you know, for Saturday, because she's been doing this every Saturday, so she will have the updated form. Sorry, is somebody asking me a question?
And photocopy forms are acceptable at our SOE. I've been using them a lot, and it doesn't have to be one of their preprints.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Norma, was that you?
Yes, I have always gone down to SOE and they assign me a certain number of forms. And if I'm turning in and they count the number that I've turned in, they keep a record of all of it. So I have a form I have to fill out in order to secure these, and they keep track of everything.
Right. Good. Yes. I do believe that that's what happened with mine. Okay, good. Thank you for all of the updates. Has anybody got anything else before we bring this to a close?
Just one quick thing, Joan, from Matt.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, everything that was posted here, whether it's a link or whatever, is also, I've placed it on the Facebook site. So please utilize that as a place to go get information, because I'm just going to post it there as well. So you can go back to it anytime from your personal devices.
Right, yeah. You know what? Please go onto the Facebook and like it, and send some photographs about what you've been doing so that we can put them on the site. That would be very, very nice. I do want to say also, if you are going to miss the PCDEC meeting, which is the 4th Monday of the month, you know, the Lucinda one, the Pinellas wide one, you do need to say that you're going to miss it. And the forms, Julia Meadows created within the credentials committee. And so it's much more efficient now, and it doesn't take long, and you just fill it in and send it in, but it does keep you your voting right. So it's well worth, you know, remembering to send that form in, because they're recording them now and they're getting back up and running in terms of monitoring all of that, and which is important about attendance. So it's also in the chat, the form. And Matt, I don't know whether you can record the whole chat for me so that I can see it. Can you do that? Because I don't know whether I can.
So the video recording doesn't include the chat, but there is a chat record that is a separate file.
Okay, well,
So
I need to
more like
look
a
at it
Word
if I
file.
can. Yeah. All right. And before we go, Christian, welcome. Do you want to say anything?
Sure thing. First of all, I apologize for coming in and out. I'm currently driving home from Brooksville, so my service is a little spotty. Been a PCP for, I think, 6 months now, thanks to Julia. Excited to be here and very excited to work on electing Democrats in 2022 and beyond. So thank you for including me.
Great. Thank you for being here. Is Aidan still here or no? Well, Aidan is our other new PCP person, and maybe we can get him to say a little quick word next time. Julia, thank you as always for your help, and everybody else who helped me get through this. Anyway, any other questions, any comments? It is 7:03.
Joan,
No? Yes,
yeah,
Norma?
I just want to say thank you to Steve. He did such a great job in cutting out my chirps and delivering me the information from my precinct. I couldn't have done anything without him. Thanks again, Steve.
You're welcome.
Oh, nice. Way to go, Stevie. Woo! Thank you. And thanks to everybody who helps everybody else, and for all the things that you're doing. And next month is Women's Month. So what an exciting month for y'all. All right. So we'll see you then. Okay. Thanks very much for being here today. Take care.
Good night. Thank you, Joan.
I'm sorry you can't see me. You know, I look great, by the way. You can't see me. It's just that my thing's broken. I don't know. Next month, I'm going to borrow Walter's computer so you can see me. Anyway, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Bye-bye.